So we covered in detail the massive authoritarian crackdown on pro-Palestine protesters on college campuses. They're doing overwhelmingly peaceful encampments, and they're asking for their respective colleges and universities to divest from Israel. They're also trying to take a stand against U.S. money and weapons being used to fund the carpet bombing of civilians. It's literally as straightforward and correct a protest as you can possibly imagine. And like we reported, there's a massive police state crackdown on them now. And this is brought about because there's bipartisan support among Democrats and Republicans in D.C. This is what we want you to do. The president also wants them to do this. And the media has now laid the groundwork for these people to be sufficiently dehumanized and demonized and treated like, no, these are scum, and they deserve what's coming to them. Okay, so no, I have a number of segments here for you. We're going to give each one of them their due. So let's start this one here with Fox News. Here we have Mark Levin talking to Robert O'Brien, who was Trump's national security advisor, and he's probably going to return in the next administration. And here's what they had to say about these pro-Palestine protesters on college campuses. Listen to this.
So if you're a student and you wear a kippah on campus, people are citing them with vile, horrible things at you. It's not about Israel policy. It's about rank anti-Semitism and hatred of Jews. And it's the oldest prejudice. And somehow that's become legitimate. That's become normalized, that it's okay to hate Jews. And there's something very wrong with our country when that's happening on our college campuses and on our streets in New York and LA. And it's heartbreaking as an American to see that.
I call this the Hitler Youth because that's exactly what it is. And we've had the Hitler Youth before. There have been books written about the Third Reich and what happened on our universities and colleges.
So the college kids who are out there saying, divest from Israel, divest from Israel. They're doing an ethnic cleansing. They're doing a genocide. They're carpet bombing children. Divest. The kids who are saying that and are saying, please stop murdering tens of thousands of civilians. They're the Hitler Youth. They're the Hitler Youth. If you were to ask these charlatans, can you steel man the argument of these protesters? I honestly don't think they could do it. I don't think they could tell you what I just told you, which is their actual stated goals. I don't think they could do it. And they're calling them the Hitler Youth. The other guy said, oh, there's something deeply wrong in this country. Oh, you bet your ass cheeks there's something deeply wrong in this country. But the thing that's wrong is you guys. The thing that's wrong is the bipartisan consensus, the conventional wisdom of the establishment, that these are evil people and bad people and they're just anti-Semitic. And that is now leading to an authoritarian crackdown where jackbooted thugs are cracking skulls, shooting fireworks at them, destroying their encampments, assaulting different pro-Palestine protesters. They've arrested and assaulted professors who are trying to protect their students. They have the nerve to go out there and morally fucking preen and grandstand and call the protesters the Hitler Youth. As Netanyahu is in the midst of doing a genocide and an ethnic cleansing, 42,000 Palestinians killed, about 38,000 of them are innocent civilians. Over 90% civilian death rate is what we're talking about. 15,000 kids murdered, bombed every kind of civilian infrastructure you can imagine. Hospital, schools, marketplaces, factories, UN buildings, you name it, they bombed it. But it's the people against that. They're the Hitler Youth. Not the people who are enthusiastically supporting the murdering of tens of thousands of civilians. And by the way, if it went to hundreds of thousands, or if it went to millions, they'd be saying the same shit. They would be saying the same shit. The people standing up against the murder of millions of people, they're the Hitler Youth. I just said this in the previous segment. I'm going to say it again. There was a fatal flaw in the way that I approached politics for a very long time. I was incredibly naive. I would assume everybody's acting in good faith and then react accordingly. Problem is, a lot of people are not acting in good faith. A lot of people are total charlatans and con men and frauds and liars. And that's what Mark Levin is, and that's what this scumbag is. Do they actually believe that the tens of thousands of student protesters around the country, they're all just doing what they're doing because they have a burning, passionate hatred for Jewish people? Is that what they really believe? Do you think they really believe that? Is that what Dave Rubin believes? We talked about him the other day. Is that what he believes? Yeah, they all wake up in the morning, they're like, I must hate Jews. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Or is it the dozens of videos coming out where they pull out dead babies from underneath the rubble and the bombs that killed them are paid for with our tax money? Or is it that? Gee, I wonder. And then you got all these assholes going around speculating as to why the protesters are doing what they're doing. I think it's because they're not getting laid. I think it's because they're trying to be cool. I think it's because they're trying to fit in. I think it's because they're unemployed and lazy and have nothing going on. All of you can shut the fuck up and blow me. You're wrong. You know you're wrong, but you don't care. You view your job as doing propaganda for the establishment. And the establishment position is pro-Palestine protesters, evil, bad, wrong. Zionists, good. Police state thugs cracking down on them, good. That's your ideology. And all of these frauds. It was like 7.5 minutes ago that they were all free speech on college campuses. How dare they protest Ben Shapiro? How dare they protest Ann Coulter? How dare they protest Milo Yiannopoulos? This is unacceptable. Even if you don't agree with them, you should believe in the First Amendment and freedom of speech. Yeah, very good. Freedom of speech, yeah. And then now, peaceful Palestinian protesters? Crack their skulls. Fucking lock them up. They're the Hitler Youth. Fuck them. Let me tell you something. This is a radicalizing moment for fucking everybody who's paying attention. For everybody who's paying attention. These protesters are getting the same treatment that the anti-Vietnam War protesters got, that the Iraq War protesters got. And you know what? Every single time, the protesters were right. And how is history going to judge loathsome idiot scumbags like the two that you see on the screen right here? How do you think they're going to judge them? Hitler Youth. Hitler Youth is the accusation from two guys supporting the mass carpet bombing and starvation of countless Palestinians. There you go. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.